I kept saying, no, I don't think I'm having a heart attack because the EKG didn't say that. To me, it was really scary for the simple fact I have no family in the Twin Cities. I knew enough about the types of medicine that they were giving me, but I still was thinking, no, I'm not having a heart attack. When I first started having symptoms, I was 36. It was a January, I remember that day, because I wasn't feeling well, and it was almost symptoms similar to a heart attack, where it was kind of a little shortness of breath. Wasn't quite sure what was going on, so I ended up going to my doctor's office, and they did some blood work, they did an EKG, but they were still getting 2 different blood pressure readings, so they immediately at that point said, something serious is going on. So they actually put me in an ambulance. So they said, we're going to order a stress test for you, and they just sent me on my way. So that was the first time. But over a series of a year, I had different episodes that were similar to that. And they said, well, we're not sure what it is. Then they said, oh, it's psychological. You're having stress-related issues. Send me on my way. So each time, they just never knew what was going on. But my regular physician felt something was going on, and my murmur would sound different each time I came into her office, and it's not supposed to do that. And so over that year, along with me not feeling well, she did a whole series of tests, and it was the last test that she did that they kind of figured out what was going on. The surgeon was the one who saw it and said, no, this is a aneurysm, and we need to fix it. And I said, okay. And at that point, I just kind of tuned everything out a little bit until he said, you have to have open heart surgery. And that's when I just kind of, my mind went blank and I just started crying. And I kept saying I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die. So it was when they actually did a angiogram. That's when they realized that once they opened me up, that it actually had ruptured. And I was starting to go into congestive heart failure. The doctor said very rarely does he see it on a live person. You know, if you know you're not feeling well, don't let the doctors blow you off. Find somebody that will listen to you. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you get discouraged yourself. There are periods of time where I'm like, well, maybe it is me. Maybe I'm just making this stuff up. But you really know your body. You know when something is wrong. Definitely know your family history. Ask the questions. Oftentimes family members don't want to talk about what the family history is. You know, in my family, I know there's heart disease, there's diabetes. And when I talk about these things with my physicians, so they know my family history, so they know what things to look out for. Well, I think it's very important for the African American community to know the risk factors, especially because of our food, our culture. Faith and medicine do go hand in hand. And you have that belief and you know that God can heal and he can do all things, but he also gave us physicians to help us. You know, and God gave you this one body to take care of. And if you don't take care of it, nobody else will. Even before my surgery, I was at the gym on a regular basis, very active, played basketball, played volleyball. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you.